take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. This is your last chance. This is your last chance.
What up, Red Pill? Do something a little different today. We got a race coming up at Kaboom Racing. Don Boomershine holding a Pinks race. And the car of choice is the Chevy Nomad. I've actually pulled out all my Nomads. None of them are super fast, but I'm going to build two of them. I'm going to build them a little bit different. Chose to go metal base. These are going to be the two we're going to build. Going to build the orange red lines. We're going to build that bad boy. I'm going to do two different things with them. This one, we're going to go with kind of the same size wheels. This one, we're going to go with a little bit bigger wheels. We'll see which one's faster. It's a 75 gram race. All the big dogs going to be out there. Winner takes everybody's car. Ran through quite a few already testing them. We're going to use these wheels. This car is, what's it called? The Blitz Speeder. We're going to use those wheels for that. And we're going to tear apart a Daytona NASCAR and put them Goodyear Racing Eagles on that white car. First thing we got to do is get these bad boys drilled out. Then we'll take a look at the inside of this car. See what we got to do. Both of these metal cars weighed in metal base at 45 grams. Got to get to 75 on the weight limit. That will not be a problem. So we'll get these things drilled out. We'll check them out. See what we got. All right, we got these bad boys drilled out. We'll pop them apart. Hopefully, yep. There we go. Go ahead and move these bodies down out the way. And we'll get these wheels out. Now, different cars have different ways that the wheels are held in. You got plastic bases, which are pretty easy to get out. This one just has these center pieces. What I like to use is a small flathead, which I have actually sharpened at the end. Just kind of get down in there, spread that thing apart a little bit. And you want to definitely be careful. You can bend this axle if you aren't very careful. So you want to take your time, and that thing will pop right out. There you go. This is my first donor wheel. Plastic base is usually pretty easy to get out. You can also take like a little $1 razor knife. Usually if you will just get this one side here, just cut it off, there you go, wheel fell right out. So there's my first set of donors. We'll go on that white one. The other three cars all have metal bases. You will either have this style with the two tabs, or you'll have the style like the Nomads have with the three in the middle, kind of just like that plastic base had. It's kind of the same principle. You want to get that screwdriver between two of them, get it all the way down in, just twist it, pry those things back. Sometimes they will come out easily, and sometimes not. Now these wheels actually are pretty decent. This car ran okay before I took it apart. It actually ran right on the bottom of 2106, so pretty decent wheels on this car. So I will try to save them. So again, I want to try to not bend this axle while we're doing this. And a metal base can be a bit of a pain in that butt, but you keep working at it, you will get it. You can also when you get it really close, sometimes you can add just a touch of graphite in there to help lube that thing up and get it on out. Now, another thing that I will use is just a small block of wood, because you don't want to bend the axles. Make sure it fits with the wheels around it, and you can actually get down on this thing with a little bit more pressure. And the thing is super close. You can take a look and see it's actually hanging up in 2 spots. One is right there, and the other right there. Still not quite, but it is super close. So like I said, the graphite, let me show you that. Any graphite will work. We'll just grab this because it's close, a little hobby lube, and you just take a little bit, put here. There you go, a little bit of graphite. Get it worked on there pretty good. Sometimes that will give it just what it needs to come out. Sometimes it won't, but if you work with it just a minute, it usually work. Of course, I'm videoing this, so it is not wanting to work with me, but just takes a little patience sometimes on these metal bases. If you weren't trying to save these wheels, you would just pry these bad boys out of here, cut the tabs off, be done with it. But with these, we trying to save them. So we're going to spend a little more time on it. So close, so close. Oh, there it went, popped out. So there we go. It is out. It is still straight. So we can use those for later. We'll take those other 3 out. The same kind of thing on these. These have the 2 tabs here. And actually, they're usually pretty easy to remove with this sharpened screwdriver. What I'll do is I will just force it down here between the 2 sides of the tabs, like this. Force it all the way down, and then pry that thing apart. Same thing on both sides. Of course, we want to be really careful with these. These are the wheels we are going to use for that racer. And you can see there I pried them apart, and it just comes right out. So we'll get all these wheels out and show you what we do next. Alright, all the wheels are out. We got the ones we're going to use here. Now the next step, and the most important step in building a racer, is doing the sanding and polishing. So what we're going to do, just like on every car, we will polish these axles. We will sand down these wheels, any imperfections like this right here, get sanded out. Then we will also take the bases here where they will make contact on both sides. We will sand those and polish those. That is kind of up to your discretion how fine of a sandpaper or polish you want to use on that thing. And once we get the wheels done and get these polished, we will mount them in there. I'll show you that. First I'll sand one of these, polish it up, kind of show you the difference in what these look like, because when you're building a racer, your enemy is friction, and any little imperfection, which these are pretty good. They ran good times before I even took the old wheels out. It won't take a whole lot of work, but you know, there's definitely some small little rough spots in there, and I'll show you the difference here in just a second and how these look when I get one of them done. I'll be right back. Alright, just to show you guys what these things should look like when they're done. Of course, that is the one that's unpolished versus the polished one. You notice there's no kind of rough edges on the polished one. This one back here, kind of how it was, but it takes some time for sure. But if you're trying to contend in any of these modified races with anybody with any kind of skill, you have to make these bases look like this. So now for the long process, we'll get the other 3 of these done, we'll get the wheels ready, and for you it'll be just a minute. We'll be back. For me, it's gonna be a while. Let's go get this work done, see if we can build a fast car. All right, we're back. It is 2 days later, but we have got the wheels polished, axles polished. We got the wheels ready to roll. We got the bases ready. We're ready to mount the wheels. Now, there's a few things I do to these that I don't think anybody else really does. The hole in the middle, I'll show you that in a minute, is for something different. I put these 2 holes on both ends of my builds. I fasten my axles down with JB Weld, and I've seen too many cars that just had the axles pop out. I've never had it happen since I started doing this. So what I do is when I put the axles down, apply the JB Weld, I smear it through, push it down through so it comes out these holes, and I'll smear it flat here at the bottom. Then when it dries, I don't know if you can really tell, I drilled the hole and then I made it just a touch bigger with a bigger bit right here. So when I smear it flat, there's no way that JB Weld can pull back through. So, little red pill trick. Now, this race we're going to is a pink slip race. And not only a pink slip race, but there's some people I don't own their cars. They're like Matt Man, Blue Line, Flip. So I wouldn't mind owning one of them boys' cars. So we went all the way on this one. See, the base is smoothed out compared to this one, which if it's any kind of big time race, I will usually do this. Does it make much difference? I don't know, but it could make the difference in this race. You can see I got rid of this whole center line, that big raised piece there. I mean, it's pretty much smooth and flat now, like butter. So we ready to mount the wheels. We'll do this orange car first. These bad boys are ready to go. They've been sanded, they've been polished, they've been everything except for graphite, but no graphite. Pretty nice. Anyway, I'll show you how I mount the axles on these things. Now, I always use the Red Pill original axle jig. You may see some people using it now, but this is an original Red Pill racing design. Bam. This bad boy spins to the side. If you notice, there's some holes right here. And what we do, now you will see what this middle hole is for. That little screw goes through there. And it will then mount right on the axle jig. Didn't used to do that. That's something I added later on, but it really helps to have that base stabilized like that, and to know that it's perfectly straight. So we lined it up here, we lined it up this way, it looks pretty straight. Tighten this thing on down. We're ready to mount some axles now. Everybody always use that Redline Derby jig, and I hated it. Never worked out. So we'll sit those back wheels there. You want to make sure you put the right wheels in the right place. Put those wheels there. Now, the key component. Very, very important. The axle tensioners, aka rubber bands, man. So you hold that car down, put that rubber band around one side of one of the axles. Easy to see. And then on the bottom I've got different slots depending on the car, so we'll go to the closer one since it's a short wheelbase, and bam, right back through to there. Then we can actually make sure it is spaced perfectly. We can feel and see if it is even tension on both sides. And we can make sure that those wheels are straight when they get JB welded, which right now they are not, but we will get that up to speed here in a few minutes. Same thing on the front. Drop it in. A little axle loop. Swoop. Other side, homie. Bam. So, same tension. Same spacing. They're straight. We're ready to put some JB weld in here on both of these cars. Get these wheels mounted. Red pill axle jig. Don't forget, when you see it, they imitators on the original, homie. Let me get these wheels mounted. Plus, Max wants to have a water balloon fight, so we'll mount these, let them dry. I'll come back, see what they look like. All right, there we go. There you have it. Both cars have had the wheels mounted. They've had weight added. And as you can see, we have dusted them. The bad news is, Del Sleepy did not ship these things out. That means they will have 2 days to get there. We'll ship them 2-day priority. We'll see what they do. Let's see what they weigh. They are, of course, screwed together. The yellow 75.2. That's not yellow though, that is orange. Looking pretty sweet. The matching orange wheels. I like it. 75.2. The next one went with all 4 of the same size wheels. Goodyears. 73.7. Look at these things at the top. See what they're gonna run. Both of these cars ran 2105 stock after they got graphited, which is not super impressive, but not terrible. They did weigh about 40 grams. They now weigh, as you saw, about 30 grams more. That, and they've had a lot of wheel work done. So here we go. See what these things are gonna do. It needs to be low 60s to have a shot at winning this thing. I know Matt Man is gonna be tough, and I believe Flip's there and Blue Line, so I think Voxer as well. Let's see what they got. 65 and a 73. Not too bad, especially right after being put together. Swap them up. We're gonna put that fast white one in too. I mean, the orange ain't no slouch either now. There we go. Didn't reset the timer. Terrible. All right. There you go. Orange will be in one, the white one in lane two. And the big end, the white one is just faster, 2068 to a 75. Oh, we know which one will be going. There it is, coming to you, Boomer Shine. I hope it makes it in time. What's that thing say? Spike. King Ranch. Well, the King Ranch is about to get packed up and haul ass to Kansas. See what we can do. I hope you make it home there, Nomad. I kind of like you. Never built one, but it actually looks like a race car with those Goodyears on it. So that'll be the one going. No time to try to tune either one of them up, really. So there it is, coming to Kansas. See if I can get a win. If not, if it doesn't make it, we'll ship it back. If it makes it and I lose, somebody's getting a sweet little car. All right, that's it. Hope you like the little different style video, little mods. Get this thing packed and you'll be able to see this race on Hot Wheels Downhill Racing. It's a Facebook group. If you're not a member, just search it on Facebook, of course. If I see it, I will approve you. I'm not an admin on that page, but I believe I can approve people. It's going to be Saturday, the 7th of August. So when you'll be able to see this thing. So, Don Boomershine holding the race. It's supposed to be between like 8:30 and 9 o'clock, so tune in. All the baddest dudes in the country, probably in the world, are going to be there. Till then, keep chasing that speed. Be fast. I'll be last. Red Pill Racing. We are out.